Then you've got to pick your channels. And again, this is really more about understanding your audience and where they're playing and what they're doing online than it is understanding about you and what you want to do. You may love Twitter. You may think Twitter is the greatest thing in the whole wide world, but you may have an audience that's stuck on LinkedIn and they're not coming over to Twitter because they think it's stupid. So you can't spend your business time on Twitter. You want to spend your personal time there because you love it, that's great. But from a business standpoint, when you add the word marketing to the term social media, it's about business. It's about driving leads. It's about driving sales. You've got to figure out how to do that. And in order to do that, you've got to pick the channels where your audience is. Fish where the fish are. And you can choose lots of different channels. You can choose the search engines and focus on search engine marketing and making sure that you're ranking well for organic search. You can choose the engagement channels like Facebook, video like YouTube. You can go into SlideShare. I mean, there's lots of B2B professionals out there who literally will go to SlideShare and just look for good SlideShare presentations on different topics. And it's become an interesting little business microcosm social network in and of itself. So all of those channels are out there for the taking. As you define those channels, though, think about, all of the different audiences or the audiences on each channel and how they differ from one another. If you're thinking about your blog, you're thinking about something like engaging content that would be keyword-driven so you can win search results. You want to present clear calls to action so that while people are reading the content and they see you mention a product or service, there's a link there so that they can go buy it if they want to. Obviously, blogs are more lengthy than Facebook or Twitter, so you can be a little bit more involved there. You can use videos on a blog. You can use audio on a blog, so on and so forth. Facebook is a little different. It's conversational. It's much more short, pithy posts, sharing links. But more importantly than anything else, when you think about your Facebook content, you need to make your Facebook content action-inducing. Every time a person clicks the like button, every time a person comments on something that you put on your page, that then shows up in the news streams of all of their friends, which is what makes Facebook so powerful. It is built to be a viral network. And so when people take an action, when they make a social gesture around the content that you place on Facebook, then your branding and awareness gets spread to their networks. So it behooves you to make Facebook content really compelling to take action. Do you like this? Ask questions so that they have to answer them. Maybe get an application that allows you to do a poll so that they can click a button and participate, and then it automatically shows up that they participated on their friends' news streams. It's all about inducing the action on Facebook to help spread the good word about what you're doing there. Twitter is a little different. Obviously, for someone to share what you're doing on Twitter, they can just hit the retweet button, but it's not the same as Facebook. It's not the same as I like this. When you hit the retweet button, you think that little conversational message is really pithy, it's really funny, it's really informative, or the link to that content is really strong. So it's a slight differentiation in how you attack the content there, but at the same time, you have to understand that there's a different audience there. LinkedIn is much more serious. It's much more of a share-centric network in terms of the status updates, dropping links and things of that nature. People are almost all business on LinkedIn. You're not going to go over there and have a conversation about hairbands. As much as you might want to, it's probably not going to happen. So make sure that you're keeping your content for LinkedIn more focused on being business-centric, and I'll give you an example on the next slide on how you can do that in an interesting way. YouTube, obviously, is video-driven. Your videos need to be short, they need to be entertaining, and they need to be really, really, again, kind of like Facebook, action-inducing. You want people to give them a thumbs up, you want people to comment, you want people to add them to their lists and share and all that good stuff. White papers, to use another example of a piece of content, obviously have to be very info-driven. White papers are normally backed up by research. People who are going to download a PDF of a white paper and read it are people who are really serious about the subject matter, so the content there has to be different. Same thing for a webinar, same thing for speeches you write, so on and so forth. You have to understand not just the message that you're trying to send, not just the goal that you want to get out of the communication, but you have to understand the audience that's going to be receiving the message